There comes a time in every car guy's life when we need to face the inevitable. As much as we all love the Corvettes, M3s, and GTRs, they just can't do what it is that we need them to do when we get older. My Nissan 350Z was such a fun car, and it will always have a special place in my heart for helping me experience the feeling of burning my tires off for the first time. But when I was done burning those tires off, I had to call up my buddy Zach to help transport my new tires to get them mounted. And guess what he showed up with? My name is Mark Roden, and this is what makes the Chevy Silverado so great. As everybody watching this video probably already knows, the wonderfully iconic Chevrolet Silverado did not start its life out as a Chevrolet Silverado. It actually started out as the Chevy CK series pickup trucks, and just like every other legendary American car, it was a competitor to another vehicle, the Ford F-Series. For anyone wondering what CK stands for, C is for the rear-wheel drive trucks, and K is for the four-wheel drive trucks. It's literally that simple. But this video is meant to highlight the Silverado itself and its history, not the CK series trucks history. We'll do another video for that in the future. So instead, we're going to dive a little bit further into the history of the CK to the third generation. The third generation Chevrolet CK was first built in 1973 and stayed in production until 1991, which marks the longest production time of any Chevrolet pickup truck ever. So when the guy on Facebook Marketplace tries to tell you that it's rare, refer him to this video. But nonetheless, in 1975, the third generation CK would receive a brand new top-of-the-line trim called the Silverado, and after a while, people loved the Silverado trim of the CK so much that they ended up just dropping the whole CK moniker and sticking with Silverado in 1999. Fun fact, the GMC Sierra, which is the exact same truck for those who don't know, actually was a name before the Silverado name ever became a thing. In 1968, Sierra was a trim option available for the CK, just like Silverado would do 7 years later. But either way, in 1999, Chevy would release to the world the first ever true Chevrolet Silverado.
Ram and Ford F-150. It has a bigger extended cab, and it's the only pickup with four-wheel anti-lock disc brakes standard on every model. It's the truck, the Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Silverado, the truck from Chevrolet.
The first generation Silverado was a weird answer to the small truck craze at the time. Everyone and their mother wanted a small truck for fuel economy purposes, and they were selling like hotcakes. But since Chevy already had the S10 at the time, and that wasn't competing well enough with the likes of the Ford Ranger or Toyota Tacoma, they decided to go back to what they do best and make an incredible full-size truck, the GMT 800 Chevrolet Silverado. You can be a Ford or Dodge fan all you want, but the numbers don't lie. The GMT 800 Silverado 1500 was better in every way when compared to the F-150 and the Ram 1500 at the time. If you don't take my word for it, well, Motor Trend gave it the Truck of the Year award, which is obviously a pretty gosh darn big achievement. And that's not even talking about the obviously iconic Duramax. The highest available package at the time was the 3500 HD, which was offered with a 6.6-liter Duramax V8 baby diesel, yeah, making 360 horsepower and, more importantly, 650 foot-pounds of torque, which helped this truck reach a towing capacity of almost 17,000 pounds and could carry over 5,000 pounds in the bed. For reference, that's the size of a short bus, or what them Ford boys used to ride to school in, am I right, Phils? Back to the truck. They also released an SS trim for this generation in case you were looking to go fast in your truck, which, not gonna lie, I never really understood the purpose of, but it's cool nonetheless. And the Intimidator trim paid respects to one of the most legendary Americans of all time, Dale Earnhardt, which is enough to make a grown man cry.
Grown man cry, but not this man. Get back in there, Tia.
I want to talk about the second generation Silverado now, but I can't, because there's still one more cool thing left in the tank for the GMT 800, the Z71 trim. This trim would be the top of the line trim for getting things done. Plain and simple. It was offered with upgraded Bilstein shocks, skid plates, and a locking rear diff for off-road purposes, of course, which was enough to make this one of the best-selling full-size trucks of all time. It was, through and through, a workhorse of a truck, and nobody could deny it. The The second generation Silverado, however, would release in 2007 and was quite literally built from the ground up as a completely new truck. New frame, new engine, new body, new suspension, everything was different on this truck. And even though I love the GMT 800 more than any other truck in the world for personal reasons, the GMT 900, its new chassis code, was just simply better in every way.
Now is the time. Here is the place, and this is the truck. Chevy Silverado half-ton, the full-size pickup available with best-in-class 4x4 fueling.
The truck's body was built to a much higher quality, offering significantly less panel gaps and a much more modern, rounded-off look to it, leading to much better fuel economy. The interior was much nicer as well, with way more creature comforts and modern upgrades. The new frame and suspension helped it reduce body roll by a massive 92%, which is literally insane, by the way. The engines, no matter which one you're talking about, produced more horsepower and torque while smoothing out the shake of it as well, creating a much more comforting ride at highway speeds. And the transmission was also offered as a 6-speed automatic now instead of the 4-speed automatic that it was offered with before, which, let's face it, was a bit of a dog. It was truly an incredible truck, and if they had stopped right there, nobody would have blamed them. But they didn't. They made another one.
He's loved one woman for all his life. Everybody knows he ain't just tough, he's strong.
It's 2014 and third-gen Chevrolet Silverado, or K2XX, just hit the markets, and it was awesome. I still love the GMT 800 more than any other truck ever created, but the K2XX is a super cool truck. It looks rough, and I always love when trucks are a bit more squared off like this, but just like the truck before it, it pretty much improved in every way, besides the fact that they built it with a damn V6. No offense to my V6 Silverado owners out there, but I feel like if you're going to buy a Silverado, you absolutely need to buy a V8. Whether it's gas or diesel is up to your bank account, but a V6 full-size truck just makes no sense. At that point, just buy a Tacoma or an SUV. Nonetheless, the new truck was, again, better in every way, primarily with the interior. I've never been the biggest interior guy, don't get me wrong, but every time I've ever been in a third-gen Silverado, I'm always a little bit mind-blown at how nice and comfy it is inside. It feels like you're in a luxury car, but you're in a damn American pickup truck. The engine options for this generation were completely different as well. We already talked about the V6, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but they also dropped the Vortec V8 for this generation, instead replacing it with the Ecotec V8. And say what you will about the new series of motors, they do get the job done, and with much more horsepower and pound-feet of torque than previous generations. The Duramax diesel options were still just as great, if not even better, as they were before too. And don't you worry, the transmissions? Well, those were about as reliable as any American truck trans can get, to be honest. But, of course, we do still have one more Silverado to talk about. That's right, buddy old pal. In 2019, they would launch the fourth and so far newest generation of the Chevrolet Silverado, the T1XX. This was, of course, just like the last couple of generations, better in most ways. It looks cooler, it rides smoother, it can tow more, and it is much better for daily drivability, but it's starting to get to that point where it just doesn't feel the same. Like, yes, this truck is great, and it makes total sense why we're starting to see people use these as daily drivers. They're extremely comfortable, they're very safe, they're good at highway speeds, and they can do just about anything that you want them to do, and they're just getting better and better for fuel economy. But I feel like the charm of the GMT 800 is a bit gone now. They offer a damn turbo 4-banger in this truck. I mean, come on, dude, that's just not a full-size truck. It can't do anything that a full-size truck can do. I really do like the T1X Silverado, I promise, but in my humble opinion, it'll never be as special as the GMT 800.
How's this, Squidward?
It's beautiful.
This truck, man. I always tried to be unbiased in my videos, but there's no denying the fact that my dad raised me to be a Chevy fan. I still love many Fords and Dodges out there, don't get me wrong, but the Chevrolet Silverado will always have a special place in my heart. My dad owned these trucks my entire life, specifically the GMT 800. I'm 26 years old and there hasn't been a day in those 26 years where my dad didn't own a GMT 800. If I even catch a glimpse at the interior of one of these or hear that iconic Duramax noise while sitting at a red light, it takes me back to when I was a kid going to Home Depot or Lowe's to quote-unquote unquote help my dad with whatever project he was working on, knowing damn well I was only going with the hopes that he would get me McDonald's at the end of it. I love them, and there's nothing anybody can say to change that. Even if the transmissions might not be the best, or even if they are the #1 truck for drunk drivers to own for some reason, I will still always want to own a GMT 800 Silverado. They are perfectly imperfect, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is what makes the Chevy Silverado so great. Gentlemen, that is the end of today's video on what makes the Chevrolet Silverado so great. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos I'd see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my social medias or any of my other YouTube channels or any of that great mumbo jumbo. And thank you guys so much for watching. As you guys know, we have changed the schedule for this channel. So on Mondays, we are going to be uploading a re-upload of a What Makes It Great from the past, up only until we're done with the re-uploads. I know it's annoying, but if you're interested in why I'm doing that, go watch the What Makes the Integra video so great. I explain it in full detail there. But basically, I have ADHD out the wazoo, and it drives me nuts that I'm restarting the What Makes It Great series, but there's some from like 5 years ago with slight misinformation and things, and I just want to have them all in one place and just be all in one time period, or else it just drives me insane. And so I'm sorry, guys, but yeah, on Mondays we're doing that. On Wednesdays we're doing a top 25 cheap cars vid, and then on Fridays we're doing a new What Makes It Great video. And then once we're done with the re-uploaded What Makes It Greats, on Mondays those will be vlogs instead. So yeah, we're slowing down the videos, but we're going with a quality over quantity approach is what I'm trying to do here. Trying to get videos out that I'm actually happy to get out, actually excited to get out, and proud of, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's pretty much it. That's what we're doing. Trying to get videos out that I'm happy to make and everything. Also, if anybody is watching this video and is good at editing videos and could pretty much, so watch today's video and then watch some of my other What Makes It Greats video. If you think you could replicate that or even make it better, please reach out to me. Please. I'm looking for an editor. I always get burnt out on the What Makes It Greats videos because it takes me like hours to get the editing done on them, and that's easily my least favorite part of YouTube. Like, I love talking to you guys. I love making the videos, writing the scripts, getting the videos out there, making the thumbnails. I don't mind at all doing that. I like replying to the comments, and I just like doing YouTube. But the one thing I don't like is the editing. The editing is something I'm really bad at, and I can't like wrap my head around how to get good at it. So again, if anybody is watching today's video and is good at editing, and you could do something like similar to these videos, please reach out. I know somebody's going to be like, oh, well, why don't you just go to Fiverr? I've tried going to Fiverr. The problem is my videos are so, they're niche, you know what I mean? I'm talking about cars, and not everybody knows a lot about cars. I sent this one video to an editor, and it was for the Ferrari F40, I believe it was. I was trying to get the Ferrari F40 video edited, and when I did, there was a part where I mentioned the McLaren F1. I mentioned the McLaren F1, which we all know what that is, most likely. And he claimed he knew a lot about cars, so I trusted him. I sent it to him. And when I watched the video back, the McLaren clip that he used was of a P1. And I was like, oh, well, that's not great. We can't really be having that if we're talking about that. So anyways, yeah, that's all I'm trying to say is if you or somebody you know is really good at editing and they know cars and they could replicate what I'm doing for these videos, please reach out to me. I'll pay you. I need an editor. I really appreciate it. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.